Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? Well, it is currently, let's see what time it is, 6:08 p.m., 6:09 p.m. on Sunday evening, and I'm sitting out on the front porch, obviously. It's actually not too cold out here. It doesn't feel too cold. Let me see what the temperature is. Pull up the weather real quick. It is, it says it's 34 degrees outside. And it says it feels like 34 degrees. It doesn't really feel like 34 degrees. Although, I don't know what 34 degrees is supposed to feel like, I guess. It's not, I mean, I have my coat on and I have a hoodie and I have my Ugg boots on, but it doesn't feel too cold outside. It's not like I'm like freezing, like I can't sit out here. I was actually just like talking on the phone because Alex is inside watching TV. Honest to God, we got home from brunch today, and I had kind of decided that I wasn't going to vlog. I don't know what happened. It was like last night, after I got done vlogging and getting it up, I got my vlog up early last night and doing stuff. I laid down to take a nap, and I woke up like 11:30 or something like that, and I didn't feel good at all, and my stomach was hurting, and yeah, I just didn't feel good at all, and so I went back to bed, and Alex was watching Gossip Girl. He watched like so many episodes of Gossip Girl last night, and he ended up going to bed about 2:30, and so he came to bed and he was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I just don't feel good. I don't know what's wrong." And so I lay there for a second, and then I was like kind of awake, and so I was like, well, I'm gonna get up. So I came downstairs and I ended up watching 3.5 episodes of 1899. I like started watching it. First of all, let me just say, and I'm not gonna ruin it for anybody, but I was having such a hard time getting into this show. I still am kind of like, well, I'm very confused as to what is going on in this show. If you've watched it, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's a very confusing show, and like I said, I think in my vlog yesterday, I said that they like introduce all these different ideas, and you kind of have like, was I saying this in the vlog, or did I say this to Tanya? I think I said it on the vlog, and I think I said it to Tanya. It's like they introduce all these different ideas, and you have really no idea of where it's going whatsoever. And it's about this ship that gets lost at sea, and then this other ship is trying to find it. So anyway, but it's so much deeper than that. And I got online and I was like looking up articles to see if it's like worth watching. And all these articles, I didn't read them because I didn't want anything spoiled for me or anything, but they all said, like in the titles or like in the first paragraph, that it is like completely worth watching. It's like this fantastic show. This one article compared it to Lost and said it's like the new Lost or whatever, which, you know, Lost is one of my favorite TV shows. So I was like, okay, I'll watch it. It's very bizarre. There's a lot of like stuff going on that I'm just really confused about. So anyway, but I have to say by about I think maybe I watched more than that. I'm going into the 6th episode, and I was halfway through the 2nd episode. Oh, Alex just came downstairs. I was halfway through the 2nd episode, so I watched 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So I watched 3.5 episodes last night. By about the middle of the 3rd episode, I was completely hooked. And even though I'm still completely confused and have no idea what's going on, I'm intrigued by the show and hooked. I tweeted out something about it last night, and I said something about like, I'm very confused by this show. Is it worth watching? And so many people texted or tweeted back and said, yeah, it's totally worth it. You'll know at the end, like, everything will make sense. So I'm going to keep on watching it. I mean, I only have 3 episodes now to watch, so I'm gonna keep on watching it. But so I went to bed, and then I literally tossed and turned, you guys, for like 2.5 hours last night. I could not fall asleep. I mean, I was wide awake. And I don't know if it was just that I had like gotten too much sleep, but I just was totally wide awake. In fact, I don't even know what time I finally fell asleep, but I woke up today, and we went to brunch, and I still have my coffee from brunch right here. It's full. And then Alex took me to run a few errands after brunch, and we came home. And I never usually do this. Like, we came right in the door, and I like laid down on the couch, and Alex is like, what's wrong? And I was like, oh, this was the other thing, is that sometimes like when we go to, I've started to wonder if I'm maybe not like lactose intolerant, because, or that I am lactose intolerant. Caroline and I went the other day, and we ate at Ruth's Cafe, and I got a grilled cheese sandwich with tomato soup, and my stomach was just in knots, like, afterwards. And Caroline was saying something to me about, like, she tries to eat white cheese versus yellow cheese. I don't know why that would make a difference. But anyway, we were talking about, you know, being, like, lactose intolerant. And then I had talked to Tanya about it earlier in the week. And Tanya and I have had many conversations about it, about the idea of you can get lactose intolerant the older that you get. And, because I feel like I'm more sensitive to milk products the older that I've gotten. So recently, when we go to eat at Cafe Pas de Choux, I'll get an omelet, you know, on Sundays, and then I come home and like my stomach is just like in knots, and it's like really hurting. And so today, so anyway, we ran errands. I was like, my stomach didn't hurt. I felt I was really tired and just felt really, really drained today. And so we came in, and Alex took Boo Radley out in the backyard, and I just laid down on the couch. And like, I was so exhausted. I could have just, you know, like fallen asleep right there. And so Alex went upstairs, and he was like changing into his pajamas. He was gonna watch Gossip Girl some more. And so I went upstairs, and this was at like, well, I only laid on the couch for about 15 minutes. This was about 4 o'clock, 4:15. And I was like, my plan was, I actually had a list and everything of all these videos that I was going to make today. I had a drama video that I was going to make. I had a booktube video that I was going to make. Peterisms video that I was going to make. Peter Does Stuff video that I was going to make. I had a haul from the garden center that I was going to do. So I had 4 videos that I was going to make, plus my vlog. And so, but I was so tired. And I don't know if it's just because like my sleep schedule has gotten so screwed up or whatever. So I said, I'm going to lay down. What time? It must have been later than that, because I said I'm going to lay down for like a half an hour, and I set my alarm for like a half an hour. Well, when my alarm went off, I was still super tired. So, I was like, I turned my alarm off, and I like reset it for like an hour, and I was like, I'm going to sleep for another hour. And then the alarm went off again, so that would have been, well, hold on, 4 to 4:30, so that would have been like 5:30. And when the alarm went off again, I was like, I don't even know that I'm gonna vlog today. I just was like still so tired. I'm still really, really tired right now. So I laid there in bed for like 15 or 20 minutes. Alex was watching his show. He must have just finished it. And Boo Radley was like asleep at the end of the bed. He was being so sweet. So finally I got up, and I called my friend Valerie, because she had called me and texted me, and was talking to her. And then I was like, okay, I can at least vlog today. I can at least accomplish one thing today. So I vlogged, and yeah, and then tomorrow I'm gonna get back to making all of my videos that I want to make. So But I had all these things I wanted to do today. I didn't get them done. My neighbor across the street, it's really interesting. She has like lights that are kind of like mismatched on her trees over there. She has like yellowish lights, like, you know, like the white lights that are like yellow kind of tinted. And then she has white lights that are kind of like at the bottom and at the top a little bit. Well, not really at the top, more just like at the bottom. And the ones at the bottom are like twinkle lights. And so they're twinkling. I mean, I don't really understand. She's very planned out about things, so it's interesting to me to see these lights that are just kind of like the bottom ones are twinkling and the rest of them aren't. She told me the other day that she wanted to add some more lights out there, so I don't know, we'll see. I don't know, maybe I'm just like, I gotta get my sleep patterns. I think I've been like, you know, sleeping like 4 or 5 hours and then getting up and like doing things for like 4 or 5 hours and then going back to sleep, and I need to just maybe have at least a few days or a week of maybe normal sleep patterns to kind of start feeling normal again. I wonder what he's doing in there. Tonight I think I'm gonna try to finish 1899, and then I'm going to try to not stay up too late tonight. Oh, he's probably feeding Boo Radley is what he's doing. We've been trying to feed Boo Radley. Well, anyway, I'm gonna try to finish 1899 tonight and then go to bed at a somewhat reasonable hour, maybe. We've been feeding Boo Radley like breakfast and then like dinner, like trying to feed him like twice a day. And he seems to be doing better with that. Like, he'll like eat the breakfast up like right away. And then like with dinner, I think he's like hungry enough by dinner time, because we usually feed him like 2 packets at the same time. And he doesn't eat all of his food up when we do that. But if we put 1 packet down for breakfast and 1 packet down for dinner, he usually eats that all up. We've been putting like a packet and a half or 2 packets down for dinner because we've been trying to feed him a little bit more. And he seems to like that. So, I don't know. It's a really pretty night outside. We've had like, even though it's been cold outside, we've had some really, really pretty nights where it's like really clear. And you can see the stars and the moon and stuff outside. It's really beautiful. So, yep, that's been my day. Like I said, I really don't want to. I mean, I'm sure I'll miss a couple days of vlogging in December because I've been like, you know, for every month I've been like taking 1 or 2, 3 days off from vlogging. But I really don't like to if I don't have to. It's still crazy to me sometimes that I think about like I was looking at people like doing the Vlogmas stuff, and I know that there are people that are doing the Peter Monn vlog challenge, which I love that people are doing that at Christmas, from the Vloggerinos group. That's like really like an honor to me. I really, really appreciate that. It means a lot. And I love watching those, but no buts about it. I love watching them. But the thing that's funny is like when people are talking about Vlogmas and I know that my vlogs are like not like, you know, when people are doing like Christmassy kind of like vlogs at Vlogmas and whatever, but that I'm just like sitting out here talking, you know, for whatever period of time. But it's interesting to me when people like are like, oh, Vlogmas is it's so hard to like upload a video every single day and whatever, and it's crazy to me to think that like prior to like PP passing away, that was the first time that I took any time off from the vlog. when PP passed away and we went to Mexico, like I took that whole week off from vlogging. Prior to that, I hadn't missed a day vlogging on this channel ever. I don't think. And it's crazy to me to think that was like 3 or 4 years. This is my 6th year vlogging. And so, and obviously I missed, several months this past year. Which I think, like, also coming back, like, taught me that, like, if I have to take a day and not vlog, and I miss a day not vlogging, like, I know, like, I said something on here a while ago about, like, taking a day off or whatever and not vlogging, and it was interesting, the comments that I got. Like, they were kind of like really different comments. Like, either there were people that were like super supportive and they were like, if you need to take a day off from vlogging, like, we totally understand it and we'll be here for you. And like, whenever I put up on like in the Vloggerino, I usually, if I'm going to take a day and not vlog, I put it up in the Vloggerinos group, and then I also post it on my community tab. And so it's interesting because on both, I'll get so many supportive comments, and people will say things like, like when I did it on Thanksgiving, people were like, just enjoy your day. Because I honestly, while we were at Caroline's, I thought, well, we probably aren't going to stay so late, so I can come home and vlog. But we ended up coming home later, and I was tired, and I wanted to lay down, which is why I didn't vlog that day. But because I just wanted to take a nap with Alex and Boo. And we stayed later than I thought that we would, but I mean, we didn't stay super late, but we stayed. If we had gotten home by like 6 or something like that, then I probably would have vlogged. But anyway, the comments were so nice, and people were like, oh my God, like, just enjoy your day, spend time with Alex and, your family, and don't worry about it. Yeah, whatever. But when I mentioned it on here, this was like, I don't know, like a month and a half ago, like I said something about, like, if I have to take a day off, I'm going to take a day off. I think I was really more referring to my other channels, not just like this channel. I got a few comments, and people were like, well, if you don't upload on a regular schedule, people will find other YouTubers to follow. And like, I'm very aware of that, but that's also kind of like the saboteur in my head that tells me, like, if you miss a day vlogging, no matter if you're like feeling under the weather or you're not feeling great or whatever, that people will leave and go find somebody else. And like, this is something that I so love to do that I want to keep on doing it, and I feel so blessed that I have people that you guys all watch my vlog, and I just feel so blessed about that, that I don't want to take that for granted. And it was interesting, like, some of the comments were kind of like, there were a couple that, and it was mostly from people that like don't typically comment on my channel, but they were like, well, if you don't vlog regularly anymore, then people, it wasn't like I ever said that I wasn't going to vlog regularly. It just was like, I was saying that if I needed to take some days off, I was going to take some days off, right? And because I had gotten to the point when I came back with realizing, because I think I was talking about like how driven I was before, and that I would wake up every single day and I'd be like, gotta do this, gotta do that, gotta go to Starbucks and make a review video, and then go here and do this video, and gotta do this and whatever. And like, and if I didn't get all of these things done, then I really beat myself up about it. And I was like, okay, you got nothing done today, and whatever. And like, today's a good example of like having all these videos that I wanted to film, and that I'm just filming my vlog. It's like, I have to allow myself, for my mental health and for feeling better, to realize that it's okay for me to just do what's enough for me in one day. So it was interesting when I got those comments that people were like, well, if you don't upload, regularly, then people will stop watching your channel and whatever. And I like never meant by any means that I was gonna stop uploading regularly. But it's funny too, like when I watch like other people's channels, like there's several people that like I'll look at their channels and I think especially like as a drama commentary channel, you know, where it's just like me and probably 2 maybe other channels that upload like on a daily basis where, and we don't pull the kind of views that like, well, I don't at least, that some people do that post like every 4 to 5 days, and they put up these very thoughtful, you know, videos that are very scripted, and like they've really thought them out, right? Like, I mean, my videos on my drama channel are really more of just a reaction to something that's going on. I mean, I think we know that, right? Like, it's not like most of my videos are like super deep. It's really interesting because I did this video the other day, and I got a lot of really great comments on it, and it was, and it, like, honestly, and like, I'm not like so ate up by the views, but I think sometimes the views, like when I look at them, translate to me as like people are interested in this or they're not. And so it kind of tells me for the future, like, you know, if you do a video about this, people aren't going to be interested. Although I uploaded the video on a Friday. Fridays are typically horrendous days for uploads. But it was a video that I did where it was like, what was it called? I called it, oh, I Have Questions. And then it was about, talking about all these YouTubers that have kind of like introduced these ideas through the last year or 2, but then there's been no fruition, like with what they've talked about, like Shane Dawson's love of makeup, or Tana Mojo and Jake Paul getting married, or, you know, Jaclyn Hill and these 6 scientists that she supposedly hired to do this investigation of the lipsticks. And so I talked about all this on there, and I had a lot of fun, honestly, making the video. Like, I thought it was kind of like, it was one of my funnier videos when I, you know, and people like thought a lot of the things that I said were funny, and it was interesting, some of the comments on there that were really nice. I mean, people were like, this is a really great video, you did a great job on this video, and whatever. And I just don't, to be honest with you, I don't know from my channel that I think it would make a huge difference. Like, I think if I did like these deep dive investigations, like scripted videos where I like went in and like really looked at something and what it was going on, and, you know, and really took the time in coming up with some very artistic thumbnail, I just don't think it would make a difference on my channel. I really don't think. I just feel so blessed with what I get, you know, and that I get to get up every single day and do this. I don't know that I think it would really make a difference, but I will say, you know, it is interesting to me when I look at other channels, and not just drama commentary channels, obviously, but like, you know, a lot of the people that I watch where they will post a video like every 3 to 4 days, and you know, and they get like pretty good views and whatever. So I don't know that I think that so when I started posting, and I started posting every day, it was of this idea that, I don't know if you guys remember this, but Casey Neistat did a video years ago, and it was like, if you want to be successful on YouTube, and he gave like all these different ideas, and one of them was, if you want to be successful on YouTube, post a video every day. And that was kind of just my mindset at the time. But when I started on BookTube, and I was posting a video, sometimes 2 videos a day on BookTube, it was because I just had such a love of filming videos. Well, now that I have 6 channels, I don't have to film 2 videos on one channel, because I'm filming maybe 3 to 4 videos across 3 to 4 different channels. And so I get to do different things on each of those channels, which is so much fun, you know what I mean? I can't ever, like, imagine going back to, like, not filming, like, any videos at all for several days in a row. Like, I just can't. Like, when I take a day off, like today, and the only thing I did was vlog, the next day when I wake up, I feel like super like pushed to be like productive for that day and film videos, because I'm like, I got things to say. You know what I mean? And I feel just really blessed that there are people that want to watch my videos, you know, and it means so much to me. Like when I post a vlog and somebody will say, you posted this at the exact right time. Like somebody posted the other night, like they woke up and they couldn't go back to sleep, and I posted it like right at the right time, and You know, I love when I get that, or on my Peterisms channel when people will say like, I mean, it's just a meditation that I read, you know, from Melody Beatty, and somebody will say like, oh my God, you're talking about exactly what I needed to hear today, and I'm like, okay, but it's just a meditation that I picked, but that's so cool that, you know, that I get to do that, and so I don't know, I love it, and I just love coming up with different ideas and talking about them and whatever, and I know that there are going to be those people that are going to come and go through time over my channels, you know, that they're going to either, because it happens to me as well with the YouTubers that I watch, where they're going to get like bored of people, get bored of me, or, you know, that, you know, something that I say is going to upset them. They don't want to hear it. And so they are like, okay, I'm done with watching him, or, that they just feel like, you know, I'm beating a dead horse with talking about the same subjects. I mean, that's probably one thing. You know, like, I mean, I'm fully aware. I don't live in this, like, I don't know, like, I think sometimes, like, when I get, like, these comments, you know, that people are like, if you continue to talk about this, I mean, like, I know that I talk about the same 5 or 6 people. Like, that's not a mystery to me in my channel. I know that that's probably not, like, super great for the longevity of my drama channel, but part of the problem is, for me, honestly, it's like, you guys, a lot of stuff that, like, I see going on Twitter, I'm just being completely honest with this, like, a lot of stuff that I see going on Twitter, like, when they're talking about, like, different TikTokers or drama going on that, like, with these, like, live streamers and stuff like that. Like, you guys, honest to God, like, I don't even know who they're talking about half the time. So for me to, like, and then people will be like, can you do a video? And I'm just going to make up a name, so I hope this person doesn't really exist. So we'll just make up a name, like Tripod on the Table. And they'll be like, can you talk about all of the, like, drama with Tripod on the Table? And I'm like, I don't even know who Tripod on the Table is. So for me to go in and watch it and, like, try to respond to it or react to it, the problem is this, is that no matter what I do, somebody will come out and say, well, you obviously don't know this, or this, right? It's like, I did commentary on Amberlynn Reid not too long ago, and somebody had the audacity that said, in the years that you haven't watched Amberlynn Reid, what you've missed is that she lies to her audience, that she gaslights, and all these different things, right? And I'm like, really, girl? Like, okay, you think that I don't know those things about Amberlynn Reid? You think I don't know that? Okay, oh, that she manipulates her audience, that she gaslights, and that she lies. And they're like, you obviously have missed all of this in the time that you haven't watched her. You need to go back and watch all this, right? And I'm like, okay, first of all, I watched Amberlynn Reid back in the day, long before most people did. You know what I mean? And because Amberlynn Reid and Amy Slayton at the time, why am I even talking about this? I don't know. But Amberlynn Reid and Amy Slayton at the time were kind of paired together. And Amy Slayton was getting a lot of crap because of all of this drama that she had gotten herself into. And then Amy Slayton's sister, Tammy Slayton, who had her own channel. Did you guys remember the Slayton sisters? Okay. So Tammy Slayton had gone into the hospital, and Amy said that she needed to raise money because if Tammy died, they couldn't afford a big enough casket for her. And so she got all this money donated to her, and then Tammy got out of the hospital, and all these people were like, well, what happened to the money? Well, apparently there was some caveat that Amy said, if Tammy doesn't die, we're going to use the money for bills or something like that. But anyway, Amy got in a live stream with all of these people, and that were just like ate her alive, but she, like, owned up to most of it, and she gave most of these people back their money. Amy has since gotten on 1,000 Pound Sisters with her sister Tammy Slayton, and they actually just won an award because I'm, like, friends with Amy on Facebook, and she's very happy. I mean, you know, married, kids, all that kind of stuff, and she, I I don't follow her that closely, but she either has 2 kids now or she is pregnant with her 2nd child. I don't know. But anyway, she and Tammy just won an award, a reality television award for 1,000 Pound Sisters. And it's called something like Most Binge-Worthy TV Show. I don't know. She's real proud of it. So anyway, you know, like, I feel... It stopped. She kind of moved it to the mainstream, and then, you know, she also... Oh, God. Like, I start it right away, and then it goes out of focus. Come on now. She kind of goes mainstream, and then she's not, like, posting on YouTube as much. I think I reached out to her and I asked her, because I was like, Amy, this is, like, the time to, like, be posting on YouTube. And I think that there's something to do, at the time, it was between season 1 and 2, and she didn't know, like, if they were going to get renewed for season 2. And so they were telling her that she couldn't be posting a whole lot on YouTube. I don't know. It had something to do with that. I don't know about any of that. But anyway... But, you know, she's lost all this weight, and she's kept it off, and she seems very, very happy and all this kind of stuff. So, at the time, she and Amberlynn Reid were getting compared to each other, left and right. And honestly, at that time, Amy Slayton was the joke, and Amberlynn Reid was the one that people were kind of, like, feeling sorry for a little bit. I mean, you know, whatever. Amberlynn Reid really, really, really fed into... the trolls and the haters, to some degree. I mean, she got so much hate on her channel, and I remember reaching out to her at one point because I wanted to make a video kind of talking about it, and she said to me, her response was, you can make whatever video you want, because no matter what you say, people are going to continue to hate me, so I'm going to continue to do what I want. And I remember there was a period where, I feel like it was around Christmas time, she made a video, and she showed, like, on the computer what she made in a month, which is a YouTube no-no. Like, you're not allowed to do that, to show your, like, analytic money earnings and things like that. I think that's against terms of service, but I'm not sure. But she, like, showed all of this stuff, and at that time, I was like... I said something to her, because we used to talk, and I said something to her, and I mean, we didn't talk, like, for hours on the day, but we would, like, DM each other or whatever, and I said something to her, and I said, first of all, when you talk to Amber, like, she is, like, she plays dumb. She's very smart. Like, she knows what she's doing. She's very calculated. And so I was like, you know, you could really turn your channel around if you, like, you know, got a nutritionist and did all this kind of stuff. I mean, who am I to, like, give this advice or whatever? But, like, I was worried about her at the same time, you know? And she was like... She said something about, like, knowing what was best for her channel or whatever. Like, it had nothing to do with, like, her physical health or her mental health. It was all just about the doing what was best for her channel. And I was like, all right, girl. Well, I mean, she's still pulling 50 and 60,000 views a video, and people are watching, and people are hating on her, and she's bankrolled that, you know, to some degree. It's funny, like, so many... like, YouTubers that I've talked to through the years, especially, like, bigger YouTubers that I've talked to, like, that are, you know, like, have a lot of subscribers and stuff, they'll say, don't tell anybody, but they secretly watch Amberlynn Reid. Like, they, like, literally watch every video that she puts out. Like, they love her. Which is interesting to me, because I know that Amberlynn, I think, at some point was contacted for a reality television show. I have to believe she thought she would make less money off of the I think she's pretty money driven, which, fine, you know, do you. I don't think there's anything wrong about that. I don't think she's ever hidden the fact that she's money driven, you know. But I think that, I think she was worried. I think she was worried, number one, that it would be like a weight loss reality show and she wouldn't be able to keep the weight off, and then it would be on a higher level, you know, and I don't know. I don't know why she didn't end up doing it. I never asked her, and it was just speculated that she got offered, but I think at the same time that Amy Slayton got offered the show, I think they may have offered it to Amberlynn Reid first. I don't know. But anyway, I have no idea, because she was talking at that time about doing shows. But so... I know my history of Amberlynn Reid and Amy Slayton. I used to watch Amberlynn Reid literally every day, long before All the Girlfriends, long before Wifey, long before all this stuff. But I would actually, it would be kind of, I would enjoy doing Amberlynn Reid commentary again, but the problem is, like, what I was just saying, like, if you do not know every detail of Amberlynn's life, like, the fans will quickly tell you in the comment section. Like, you have to have watched every video of hers for, like, the last 2 years or 5 years or whatever. And I haven't. And so to go back in and start doing a commentary on her, I mean, it's really difficult because you have to keep up with, like, all the details, you know? Which is why there's, like, specific channels, like, dedicated to do it. Like, you know, Zachary Michael's a friend of mine, like, that does, you know, specific commentary on Amberlynn, or, like, Amberlynn Reid, or Chantal, you know, Chantal Foodie Beauty, which, like, hers is even, like, I'll see some of his tweets, and he'll put out things like, saying, like, I couldn't even keep up with the live stream tonight, or to somebody, you know, like, there's so much that was going on that she said and whatever. And, like, I honestly, like, this is the one thing, like, I don't know that I would really, like, want to do that. Like, I don't know that I would want to have to watch, like, 2 hours of a live stream and then, like keep it all, like, notes and things like that to respond to it. Like, I don't know that, like, for me, that I would really enjoy that. Like, it's fun for me, honestly. Like, I mean, I kind of poke a lot of fun at it and stuff like that, but it's fun for me to, like, watch an Instagram story, or, you know, like, watch a YouTube video and just, like, sit there and kind of, like, walk around while I'm, like, thinking about things and, like, okay, this is what I'm gonna say, this is what I really believe, this is, it's very much for me, like, if I'm driving in the car with, like, Tanya, and she's like, oh, did you, like, you know, did you watch the Casey Anthony, you know, documentary? And I'm like, oh, girl, let me tell you about that. You know, I mean, it's very much like, that's how I feel like my drama channel is. It's, like, very reactionary. So for me, no, I'm probably not ever going to be the channel that does these very thought out videos, you know? And, like, I don't know if that would really make a difference, honestly, you know? It's so funny because, you know, like, I mean, every video, whenever I say this, there's always that person that's like, you say that you don't care about the timestamps, but you still do care about... Girl, I have long since stopped caring about the timestamps. So people will come into my drama channel and they will timestamp my videos. Like, they'll say drama starts at, you know, 7 minutes and 56 seconds. And it's really, to be honest with you, it's not difficult for me to go, like, right into the drama. Like, it would be very easy for me to just cut out the whole intro and just be like, hey guys, it's Peter. Okay, let's get into talking about Jaclyn Hill today. Like, I would have no problem doing that. But, and to just give the drama and to not, like, and I thought about doing that, you know, for a couple videos to see how they do. But really, like, I think so many of the people that enjoy it and watch it enjoy, like, the kind of, like, stupid little jokes, the quick-wittedness, seeing what song I'm gonna sing at the beginning. Like, I think there's a good majority of people out there, maybe I'm wrong, but I mean, I get enough comments from people that are like, oh, I love this song, you know, whatever, that I feel like if I just stopped doing all of that completely, yeah, I do think the intro's a little long sometimes, but a lot long sometimes, but I do feel like, you know, that if I stopped doing those things, that those are such, like, I don't think people really get it that just watch my videos for the drama. Like, for me, like, those are such, like, a big part of my videos. Like, when I do the drama phone, like, I don't just, like, pick up the, like, I've thought before I've gotten on video, like, okay, is this, like, a video where this will work? Like, is there something that I can talk about? Like, oh, I'm going to talk about how I'm, you know, buying my granddaughters, like, you know, cozy stuff from Jaclyn Hill. Like, I mean, I don't script the whole thing out. Like, I kind of just wing it when I pick up the phone. But I do think, like, there's not, like, not every video would the drama phone work, you know? And I'd love to actually come up with more props, because I think the props are kind of funny. But to me, it's very much of, like, a drama variety show. I don't take myself too seriously. It's like, let's talk about the drama, but let's have some fun doing it while we're doing it, you know? And I know that there's people that get, like, real bent out of shape about it, and, you know, that they just want the drama and whatever. I don't know. I think, you know, I think in 2022 versus 2016 when I started, I think if I did 8-minute videos that got right into the drama, and this is just me being completely forthright and honest. I think if I did 8-minute videos that got right into the drama and, you know, it was like, okay, let's talk about Jaclyn Hill, and today, you know, this is this, and was heavily filled with receipts, and I didn't really give my response to much of it whatsoever, except for just maybe, you know, some opinions at the end or whatever. I think that, my channel would probably be doing a lot better than it is, you know, over there. As far as, like, I think people would really respond to, like, a lot of that drama. But the people that I think have stuck around on my channel, they, like, this is not me, you know, contradicting myself. I think the people that have stuck around on my channel are the ones that have been there for a little while, and they like the fan flipping and the funniness and all that kind of stuff, right? But new people coming over there, no. I think the new people today, I think new people wanting drama in 2022, I think they want quick drama. I think they want it in 8 to 10 minutes. I think, you know, they don't want, unless it's like a deep dive investigation into what you're talking about, and then I think they can handle 20 to 30 minutes. But I think, you know, most people that watch my drama videos, I think they put them on in the background when they're cleaning the kitchen or making dinner or something like that, and laugh a little bit when they hear me say something stupid. But I think, you know, most people today that are really in it for the drama, I think they want, I think the whole thing about drama has changed too. You know, it's like, we have to also remember, like, it was never like my intention to get into doing drama. It was just kind of like I fell into it. But I think that drama has really changed too. You know, like when I look at the videos that do very, very well, they're very dark. You know, they're drama videos that are really about, and this started changing about 1.5 years ago, I would say. There are things that, like, I don't really enjoy talking about on my channel. Why am I talking about all this today? I don't know. But there are things that, like, I don't really enjoy talking about on my channel. You know, and just allegations, and I think some of it is important to talk about, but, like, the other thing is I'm not going to talk about it unless I really know what's going on with it, because I think that that's, you know, negligent to talk about things that you don't really know when they're that serious. And it's like, for me, it was always about doing this funny tongue-in-cheek drama because I had a good time with it, you know, and, you know, I've been getting recommended a lot of videos from, like, it's really interesting, like 2-3 years ago, when all of, like, Dramageddon, like, started happening and whatever, and, a lot of, like, the James Charles videos and, you know, the Jeffree Star video. I mean, just a lot, you guys, and I feel like that was the point when everything started to kind of change, and now it's like, you know, when I look at certain, you know, videos that are out there, that are coming out today, it's like, about TikTok or Instagrammers or just famous people or whatever, they're so dark, you know, and it's like, I don't know, like, I don't necessarily, like, I've talked about this in the past, like, I have to be really careful. Like, I've wanted to watch that movie Smile, but it looks kind of, like, really, like, I have to be careful, like, what I let in a little bit, you know, I've talked about that before. That if I'm every day consuming really, like, dark drama, or I'm talking every day about all of that kind of stuff, like, I have to be careful of that a little bit, you know? For me, and I know people that are, like, so protective of, like, you know, Shane Dawson. If I'm talking about, like, oh, Shane Dawson put out merch, you know, 2 weeks apart, and isn't that funny, you know, har har. You know, I know that there are people out there that are like, don't talk about Shane Dawson that way. Why are you always coming for Shane Dawson? Okay, we're talking about merch release, all right? We're talking about merch release. We're not talking about, like, some really life-canceling kind of stuff. It's not that deep. You know, take a breath. It's really not that deep. And that's the truth. It's not that deep. But there is stuff that happens that is really that deep, and honestly, like, when I get asked to do videos about that, I'm just kind of like, I don't want to go there. Like, I don't want to go there. It's, like, not enjoyable for me, you know, like, that's not fun, so I don't. So then it kind of, like, limits for me a lot of, like, what I'll talk about. You know, like this last week, I actually thought about doing a video about this whole Balenciaga thing. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Okay. Because this is something that Tanya and I would talk about in the car. I think we actually did talk about it on the phone. But Balenciaga released this, what do you call it, ad campaign that it was like, it's just, the whole thing is very, very sick. Okay, so Google it if you don't know what I'm talking about, because I'm not going to get into specific words on here. But that again is like, I don't know, maybe those are the videos that I should be making over on my drama channel. You know, maybe the times they have changed, and I need to get in and talking about those kinds of things, because maybe it's like people would say, well, Peter, you have an important voice to talk about those things. I don't know. You know, it's interesting to me that, you know, it's like, I think the other thing is, like, it's like the Kanye West stuff. It's like, that would be another video, you know, that I could make over there. But I feel like that, again, those are conversations that I have with my friends, that I have with my husband, you know, that, like, I mean, Alex and I were talking about that at brunch today, okay? Scary times, okay? And yet, I kind of steer clear of that stuff, because although I do think there are important conversations to be had, because I feel like my drama channel is a place for people to laugh and have fun. And I guess I don't know how to, I don't know, maybe it's the older I've gotten just in the last couple years. I don't know how to talk about the Balenciaga scandal, you know, which involves the sexualization, or the Kanye West anti-Semitism in a way where I'm flipping a fan at the beginning of the video. Like, I don't know how to do that in a way where I'm not just coming out of the gate and being like, okay, you guys, we need to talk about this today. Like, this is an important topic. And maybe that's the case. Maybe, you know, and maybe I need to talk about that in a drama video. Maybe that's the video I need to make, you know, where I say to people, like, are these the topics I should be talking about? If you want me to, you know, on those videos, I'll just throw away the intro. You know, maybe that's the video that I need to make. I don't know, but I do think that those are important topics to talk about, and those are pop culture topics to talk about. But I think, you know, one of the things is, it's pop culture, but it's very much affects who we are, you know, as people in our world. I think those are conversations that we, you know, need to, I think it's really, really scary that somebody as big as a public figure as like Kanye West feels so comfortable making the statements that he's making, you know, and, you know, push down to paragraph 5 is a statement released by the, you know, Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C., talking about the 6 million Jews that were killed during the Holocaust. And it's, you know, paragraph 6 underneath, you know, all of these things to do with Kanye West and this interview and all these dinners and all these, you know, it's just, to me, it's just like, it just breaks my heart, you know? If you've had a parent pass, especially a parent that was very passionate about issues, you'll understand what I'm about to say. This is a time in my life that I'm very happy that my mom is not alive. You know, my mom was a right fighter, and she was an activist for much of her life, and there are so many things that I think my mom wouldn't understand why we're still not talking about George Floyd. I mean, she just wouldn't understand it. You know, she would say, I don't understand why we're not talking about that every single day. And that it continues every single day, you know, and that, you know, my mom wouldn't understand the lack of protection for black lives in our country, or, you know, trans lives in our country, and, you know, all of these things that are happening, all this violence out there. My mom wouldn't, she would want to talk about it. She would think it's important. You know, my mom, before I was born, my mom taught at an Orthodox Hebrew school in Chicago called Beit Yaakov. And she used to tell me the stories, because my mom was the only Gentile that worked there. I've told these stories on here before. And so she had to go through this like ritual to like even like work at this school. And so my mom, she would tell me about like how the parents had, I mean, this is in the 60s, so this is not that far over from, you know, World War II, that the parents would have numbers, you know, and on their arms and things like that. And she talked to me a lot about, like, that the boys and the girls were split up, and she worked with the girls. And, I mean, these were Hasidic Jews. And that they're... this is why things, to me, about, like, religion are not super funny to me. Like, when I talk about them on my drama channel, like, when we make jokes about religion. Like, I mean... I think to make ha-ha jokes about religion is one thing. To... be offensive is a different one, you know? And, you know, my mom would talk about how the pride that came along with their belief systems. And she would talk about, like, there was something that she, like, wanted to make something, like, in the classroom, like, to teach the girls how to cook. And so, like, all the mothers had to, like, wash the, like, all the pans and the pots and stuff in a certain way to make it kosher. And so my mom would, like, tell me all these stories, and, that the children, like, were named after, my mom loved the name Rockel, which is like Rachel, but it's pronounced Rockel. And so, she would tell me these stories about these kids that were named after their grandparents that had been killed during the Holocaust, you know. And I think it would break my mom's heart that somebody was being taken seriously that was saying the things that Kanye West is saying, you know? And this Balenciaga thing, I mean, like, give me a break. Like, at the expense of fashion and art, like, what you think is fashion and art, you know? And then all of these people, who do we look at for statements? Kim Kardashian, who the hell is she? Who the hell is Kim Kardashian that we are looking up to her as a role model, you know? Or Lisa Rinna. Like, Lisa Rinna, people were, like, talking all about Lisa Rinna because she was making these statements. Who gives a rat's ass what Lisa Rinna has to say? She's somebody that we should be looking up to as a role model. You know, I don't dislike Lisa Rinna. She's okay. She's a real housewife of Beverly Hills. I don't know. It just makes me sad sometimes, the sad world, you know, that we're living in. Maybe these are the things I need to be talking about on my channel, you know? But I think, like, if people, this is the thing I think, is that if people are going to my channel because they want a break from everything and they want some enjoyment, why go somewhere where they're going to have to talk about stuff? Or maybe it is a place for them to talk about it and have a safe place to talk about it. Because I do feel like my channels are safe places. I do feel that way, you know? And I'm thankful for that. Especially this channel, I feel like it's a really safe place. I feel like when people share things over here, you know, especially like if they're going through something, typically, they will, you know, get like some responses or some replies from some people that will say, I'm like really sorry that you're going through this, or I hope things get better and whatnot. So I don't know. So yeah. How did I even start talking about that? All the drama. All the drama. There you go. There's the title for the video. All the drama. And I'm like, that's going to be my thumbnail. Where are we at? Let me remember this. 23. Something like that. I need a good thumbnail. I don't know why I just got emotional talking about that, but I miss my mom. I say this a lot. Like, it's times like this that, like, I mean, I'm not glad that my mom's not here, obviously, but, like, I wouldn't want her to have to, like, she would be very upset about this stuff. And rightfully so, you know? I do miss my mom in having conversations about this stuff because she was so passionate about it. And I will say, like Tanya Jean, like, she's one person I still have in my life, like, well, Alex too, where we really talk about these issues and feel very similarly about them and get very upset about these things, you know, and I'm grateful for that, and that I have people in my life that I think you should. I think you should have, you know, people in your life that feel in a similar way to you and that you can have conversations about. I mean, it's also good, I think, to have people that challenge you a little bit about things. My battery just went to the halfway mark. I don't even know why. But anyway, I do think it's good. Have I been using these new batteries for so long now that they're starting to wear out? But I do think it's good to have people that challenge you, you know. But I think on specific issues like this, that I think are really, like, at your core who you are as a person and what you believe. I think, like if I were to have somebody in my life that would say, well, I don't think it's really that big of a deal that what Kanye West said or is saying. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. I'm not going to, like, get into a whole lot of it over here, but I think I would really have to reevaluate that relationship. I don't have anybody that has said that to me, but if I did have somebody that said, well, I don't really think it's that big of a deal, I think I would really probably need to reevaluate that relationship, you know. And I would definitely say something. Actually, Tanya and I were talking about this just the other day when we were to our meeting on Tuesday night. We were talking about movie quotes, and I can't remember the quote that she said she liked, but I said, you know, my favorite quote of any movie is from The Contender, and I can never remember what that woman's name is. Actually, Tanya and I were just talking about that because I can never, her name, I think it's like Anne something. She's like, Tanya goes, she's in everything, and I can never remember what she, hold on a second, The Contender. Here it is. Joan Allen. Can never remember her name. Joan Allen. But anyway, if you've never seen The Contender, it's fantastic. I've talked about it on here so many times. And it is about a woman that is, I think it's Jeff Bridges as well. I should have just kept this up. Why did I do this? I closed it out. See, I do this. Close it out. Is it Jeff Bridges? Yeah, Jeff Bridges. Gary Oldman's in it? I don't remember him being in it, but I love Gary Oldman. But anyway, Jeff Bridges is the president, and Joan Allen gets appointed to be Supreme Court justice, and so when she's going through, like, the nomination process, these pictures come up from when she's in college, and they show her, like, at an orgy or something like that. And they show her naked in these pictures. And so at the very end of the movie, like, she's been running, right? And he finds her and he stops her, and she's just been appointed the judge. And they play it, like, in the background of all of this, and she's, like, jogging. And it's at night, so he stops her, and he hands her the pictures, and he said, they were doctored, and you knew that all along. And she doesn't say anything, and he said, why didn't you ever say anything? And she said, he said, why didn't you, when they asked, why didn't you tell them that they were, because she never, through the whole process of it, the investigation, she never says that they're, like, doctored or they're fake or anything. And he says, when they asked you, why didn't you tell them that they were doctored and that they were made up or fake, doctored? And she said, because it was never theirs to ask in the first place. And then she said, principles only mean something if you stick to them when they're inconvenient. And it's probably one of my favorite quotes of life, because I so truly believe that. I think there's so many opportunities for us in our life to stick to our true principles of what we really believe in our heart and our soul. But, you know, Tanya and I were talking about, it's like, when you're sitting at family dinner on Thanksgiving or Christmas time or whatever, right? And you really believe something in your heart and soul, and then Uncle John or Jerry, you know, makes some joke about it. It's like, do you stick to your principles in that moment? And do you say, you know, like, I don't really appreciate the fact that you're making a joke about this. Like, you know, this is this. Or do you stand your ground and really truly say what you believe? Or do you just let it fly, you know? I'm so thankful that I don't really have friends or family in my life that their opinions differ from mine. And so I don't have really an Uncle Jerry that, I mean, I've had those people in my life in the past, you know, in groups where I've been around and things like that. But like, I don't really have, you know, anybody, I don't have anybody in my life today that like makes statements that I feel like, okay, it stopped, and then the camera started wobbling. Anyway, we're back. Okay. Do I have a Kleenex? My nose is running. I need to get a Kleenex. No, I have a Kleenex. And last night, I found out that my coat is, like, ripped right here. Like, where my pocket is, like, lined. I mean, it would be real easy to just sew it up, but yeah, like, I don't have, like, an Uncle Jerry or an Uncle John, and I don't, like, worry about that. You know, like I said, my life is pretty small. My circle's pretty small. We don't really have people like that in our lives, you know, that would make statements like that, or that I have to, like, worry about getting into conversations like that. You know, and to be honest with you, at 50 years old, I mean, I guess I should have said this at 30 years old. In all honesty, I don't know that I felt as comfortable at 30 years old to stand my ground. But at 50 years old, having been through what I've seen in this world and seen what everybody else has been through and witnessed that, you know, from afar, it's like, I'm not willing to just be a bystander to hate anymore. You know, I remember, like, when I was working in treatment, and I would say, like, 80% of the women that I worked, or 80% of the people that I worked with, is my neighbor just put up the garage door? I would say that 80% of the people that I worked with were women, right? But there was also, like, very much, like, the good boys club kind of thing. And, like, I used to never talk about this, but I could care less now. It's been like, I mean, I have been gone from that facility. I've been gone from there longer than I worked there, and I worked there for 13 years, which is crazy to me that I've been gone longer than that. This upcoming year will be 15 years that I've been gone from there. Has it been that long? Yeah, it'll be 15 years. That's crazy. And it'll be 15 years since my mom has passed in May. Seems weird. But, you know, when I worked there, I would, you know, have to interact with a lot of... So I was, like, one of the only male counselors, you know, like, that worked with it. Like, there was, like, 5 of us that maybe, like, worked all together, like, you know, different units and things like that, 5 or 6, right? And so there were situations where, like, it would be us, you know, just together and whatever. And I can remember several situations where, you know, not all of the men, but a couple of them, you know, would, 2 or 3 of them, would make, like, I can remember they would make, like, gay jokes, you know, and then just be like, you know, on my shoulder. And I just kind of stand there real uncomfortable and be like, and laugh at it, you know, and whatever, you know, and it's like, you know, the, what do you call a lesbian dinosaur jokes, like those jokes, like, they're not, it's whatever, you know, okay, it's going out of focus again. It's like, they're not necessary, do you know what I mean? And just dumb, just like 4th grade jokes kind of things, you know? And, but then they would also, like, I remember, like, like they would say things about like certain women that we worked with, like she's so hot and, you know, blah blah blah, whatever. And it just was very much like the boys club, the men's club that I had never really been part of before in my life. Like I had never been witness to that because all of my friends had always been girls, and I didn't feel comfortable in it. And there became a point where, this was towards the very end of me being there, where I decided that I wasn't going to listen to the misogyny. I wasn't going to laugh at, because, you know, it's like, what do you do when you're in a circle of guys and you just want to fit in and get along and make your day easier, and they tell a gay joke that hurts your feelings, but it's like you kind of like laugh along with it. And I did that for a long time, and I'm really ashamed that I did that for a long time. I'm really ashamed that I did that. But there became the day, and I don't remember what happened, but there became the day for me where I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm not laughing at any more gay jokes. And in fact, would say, you know, like when somebody would say something, I'd be like, I don't think that's funny. I think that's really offensive. You know, and of course, then all of a sudden, or like if they made some like misogynistic statement, I said, you know, like that's really disrespectful to her. Like, you know, even if she doesn't know that you're saying it, it's really disrespectful. And then of course, what I was, it was no longer me being respectful or standing my ground. I was a bitch, is what it was, you know? It's like, Tanya will always say, it's like, if I stand my ground and I express my opinion, and you know, because they don't like what I have to say, as far as like, you know, like I'm trying to set them straight, then all of a sudden I'm a bitch because they don't like what I have to say. And that's what I became, you know? It was like all of a sudden this group of 5 or 6 men, like I was, you know, it was like, okay, Peter's difficult, he's a bitch, you know, don't bother him anymore, whatever. He can't laugh at a joke, you know, blah, 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 whatever. Well, no, I don't think it's funny when you're making jokes about marginalized communities when they're to their face, number one, and I don't think that misogynistic statements of any kind are funny whatsoever. I just, you know, so that was a good learning experience for me to kind of like stand my ground to things like that, because it got to the point where like they would say things and they were like never like huge statements or anything like that. There was one huge thing that happened while I worked there, and I ended up having to talk to my supervisor about it, and I got totally set up by the whole situation. But well, this guy, he made a comment to me about I've shared this on here. I'm not getting into it tonight. I don't feel like it. They're not worth the trouble. But anyway, they went on to go live their lives, I'll tell you that. People will put, like, this is the other thing to me, is that people will put people through so much, and you get so invested in like doing the right thing for certain people, and they really, some people just don't care, and they just keep on rolling, keep it on going on, you know. And it's like, okay, so why did I try so hard to do the right thing when they just don't care, you know? Oh well. But I think it is important to stand your ground, and it is important to, you know, like I said, like Tanya and I were talking about, you know, principles only mean something if you stick to them when you're inconvenient. And that means, what are your principles? What do you believe in? And what are your morals? What things, you know, are true to your heart? And do you stand by those things in the most difficult times as well? Okay, so my battery is flashing red, which means it's about to die, so I need to get off here. So anyway, thank you guys for I made it past an hour tonight. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, and I feel much better. This has really helped too. You know, I started this off and I didn't feel great, and now from just talking and hanging out, I feel much better. So thank you so much. I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Sunday, and start your week off and get refreshed, renewed, rejuvenated, and relaxed for the week ahead. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. And remember these 3 very important things. 1, you can start your day over whenever you want. 2, practice random acts of kindness, but shh, don't tell anyone. And 3, most importantly, make sure that you reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you. You'll be putting a smile on their face. You might just, maybe, we hope, you might just be changing their day and making them be hopeful and more positive and turning their day around. And also, be kinder to one another, love one another a little bit more, and also be kinder and love yourself a little bit more, because you matter. You matter, and you're going to be okay. If you're going through something right now, if you're going through some tough times, you're going to be okay. All right? I love you. See you guys tomorrow. Bye. Love you.